Or in a winning field goal, I beg your pardon. They lead by 11.
No, they need 2 touchdowns.
What am I talking about?
The Dolphins are up by 11.
24. That's right. 10 won't do you any good.
But they have a shot at it.
My math has suffered here today, hasn't it?
A little bit. But if they get into the end zone on this next play, then they do have an excellent chance of getting and recovering an onside kick and then going for at least 2 bombs after that. But they can't afford to have the ball stopped in the middle of the field.
Malone 17 out of 32, 199 yards. His stats look better, but don't forget a lot of this has been made against the prevent defense when the outcome of the game was pretty much taken care of. Yeah, a field goal won't do him much good here, will it? Malone has time over the middle. It's incomplete. Well, let's take our time out for our report card check of how these teams did today. The Dolphins report card, you got to give Marino an A+ today. He really brought him back. 25 out of 31. Threw the ball effectively in the first half percentage-wise. Just didn't get him in the end zone but once. And Stratford, of course, had an outstanding afternoon. 158 yards total offense. And for the Steelers, Malone, leadership looked good in the first half. Stats a bit inflated. Abercrombie, not a good day. Stallworth, 1 reception today. He's a negative on the report card. Turnovers were a factor, of course, early on for the Steelers. The defense did the job. There's a completed pass to Calvin Sweeney to the 5-yard line. And the clock continues to run. The Steelers still try to get off another play. Line of scrimmage is a 5-yard line.
You've got to get it in on this play.
Malone throws it into the ground and stops the clock, and that is perfectly legal this year with 10 seconds left. So they'll come out and have time for at least 1 more play. And I think the only thing that people around the country would be concerned about now is the spot on the game, I guess. So 7 points. Will it end less or more than 7, as they say?
Well, I think it's going to end less than 7. But nonetheless, this game is still not over. I know it seems like it's optimistic view that I'm taking right now with 10 seconds left. But if they get in the end zone on this play, they have a shot at recovering an onside kick.
As a player, is it not important to at least finish the game off in a losing cause with a touchdown?
Oh, yes, it is.
You for next week.
Very important.
Malone has time, throws it. It's incomplete. He'll have time for another off the fingertips of Calvin Sweeney. That'll stop the clock with 5 seconds. Sweeney was shy of the end zone, and had he caught it, perhaps he wouldn't have gotten in anyway.
I think now you can say that it is over, but you would still like to get into the end zone with 5 seconds left and say, well, time just ran out on us.
Well, this will get Miami back to 500, or get them within 1 game of 500 at 3-4, and move the Steelers to just 1 game over 500 at 4-3. Here is your last play of the game. Incomplete. Clock expires. There's no time left. Malone says there was 1 second left and I want my last play, but he won't get it. Don Shula headed for Chuck Noll.
Actually, Shula was headed after one of the referees because the left tackle for the Steelers moved on that play and he didn't call it.
In Indianapolis, with their new running back, Eric Dickerson, has held on to beat the New York Jets today, 19-14. That game, we are told, is a final. So Dickerson already having an effect is Noll and Shula. Longtime friends, 2 of the most respected coaches in the NFL. Exchange congratulations, and Danny Marino's got a lot of friends. He and Mark Malone, arm in arm, headed off the field. They had a lot in common last week. Both were booed. Both suffered the indignation of their fans. But, of course, there's a lot, and Tunch Ilkin, might I add, and Danny Marino are friends by virtue of the fact that they're very active in the Players Association. Michael, you know a lot about that relationship with both players.
I still do. I'm still active on the Players Executive Committee, and we're still in the process of trying to get a collective bargaining agreement reached with the owners. But back to this game. You know, both of those quarterbacks, like you said, were booed last week. They didn't play up to par last week. This week they came out and both put on a nice show. Marino didn't play very well in the first half. On the other hand, Mark Malone had an outstanding first half and leading his team to that 21-7 lead at halftime. And then the second half, things fell apart for the Steelers.
And the Dolphins contended, even though they were 2-4 and last place in the AFC East for the first time in 18 years that Don Shula's been the head coach down here. They've never had sole possession of the cellar. But they contended they were only one game out of first place.
In reality, they were.
Everybody else was 3-3.
That's right. Yeah. They were 2-4, and everybody was 3-3. No matter how you slice it, you're only one game out of first place. And right now, they're starting to get back into contention. They're starting to feel good about it.
So that's the end of our football game. The final score, the Miami Dolphins 35 and the Pittsburgh Steelers 24. We'll be back with the Budweiser NFL Report. Bob Costas after these messages upcoming from your local stations. Stay with us.